Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's postgraduate information session on MSc Nursing Advancing Professional Practice. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. My name is Hannah Davis, and I'll be your host for this 30-minute session. Before we begin, just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. So all microphones and cameras are disabled during the session to ensure a smooth experience for everyone. And if you have any questions at any point, please pop them into the chat box. We'll be answering as many as we can during the Q&A session at the end. I'd also like to let you know that today's session is being recorded. It will be available on the GCU YouTube page in the coming weeks, so you'll be able to watch it back or share it with others. Now, I'm pleased to introduce today's presenter, Louise Preston, who will be speaking about MSc Nursing Advancing Professional Practice. I'll now hand over to you, Louise.
Hi there, as Hannah said, my name is Louise Preston. I'm the programme lead for the MSc Nursing Advancing Professional Practice programme. I will, as we move through this, refer to it as NAP because it is quite a mouthful. So, and as Hannah has said, any questions, I'll be able to answer them at the end. But what I hope to do today is just give you a brief overview of the programme and hopefully that will maybe generate some discussion. Okay. So, like I said, I am the programme lead, and if you've got any questions, even after this, if you go away and think about it, that is my email address. Please feel free to email me at any point. And also, our deputy programme lead is Ryan Downs as well, and if I'm unavailable, he will be able to help you as well. I realised there's a mistake there on my slide. So our programme coordinator is Adam Chalmers at the moment. Evelyn Nichol is off on maternity leave, so but it's Adam Chalmers and that's his email address, and he deals with the admin that's associated with the programme, and he may be able to help you as well. So either before, while you're thinking about the programme, or once hopefully you've started on the programme, Adam would be your first point of call for any admin issues as well. Excuse me. So the MSc NAP programme is divided up into two streams. You can do this as a full-time student or a part-time student, and you can undertake a completely theoretical, or what we refer to as a flexible programme, or you can undertake a clinical programme as well. A lot of my slides here are dedicated towards either the full-time and flexible, so theoretical programme, because all clinical students are supported by an NHS or an employer within the UK who are in trainee advanced practice posts, and their pathway is very much dictated by their employer. However, if there is anybody here that is due to start and was looking for some information regarding the clinical pathway, I can either answer those questions today as well, or I'm very happy to meet up and discuss that on one-to-one, because it tends to be more tailored to what the employer wants. Okay, so international students and home students on the programme. All the international students will be full-time students though, and that's part of the visa requirements and the application process. But our home students can either be full-time or part-time. And like I said, we do have home students as well who potentially are also part-time, who are working, who are not in trainee advanced practice posts, but are undertaking the MSc programme as a theoretical programme as well. So just for awareness, just the entry requirements for our international students, you will be expected to have an honours degree, and this is assessed as they come in, and the admissions team help us with that and looking at equivalency. However, if you do not have an honours degree, that doesn't mean that you won't be accepted onto the programme. We will look at it on an individual basis and dependent on experience as well. And if you can submit an enhanced CV that shows evidence of either further study or extensive clinical experience, we can take that into account as well. You will have to demonstrate evidence of nurse registration, licence or certification within your home country. or you must demonstrate the ability to show that you can be registered as a nurse within your home country as well. If you are not registered as a nurse, there is other programmes within the university that you can apply to that don't require that, and that's a conversation we can have if we feel you've applied to maybe the wrong programme. There is also requirements for those whose English is not their first language, and you will have to undertake an IELTS test, have an overall score of 6.5 with no less than 6 in any component. But again, that's assessed as it comes through in the admissions team as well. And that's very much to set you up for the best possible chance of success at studying at master's level. There is different exit points within the flexible programme. So that's the theoretical programme. It is the same for the clinical pathway as well. So you will be enrolled and registered on the MSc NAP programme. However, there is the individual exit points. So the first one would be postgraduate certificate, and that's where you achieve 60 credits. And that would, for the flexible programme, you're looking at choosing any of the non-clinical modules. And I've got a slide later on that shows you which modules that are included in the programme. The second exit point would be 120 credits, and that's for a postgraduate diploma. And then the third point would be the full MSc, where you get 180 credits. For both the postgraduate diploma and the MSc exit points, the only compulsory modules within the programme are advanced research methods and then dissertation for the full MSc. So you would need the advanced research module to either exit at postgraduate diploma level and or to continue on. It's a precursor to the dissertation module. And again, you need both the advanced research module and dissertation to exit with 180 credits. If you're undertaking this programme full time, you will do 60 credits in each trimester. So depending on where you start and your entry point, that can be different. So if you're going to start in September over trimester A, so starting through from September through to the submission points in December for your assignments, you will do 60 credits. How that is divvied up depends on your module selections, and I will show you some modules are worth 15 credits and some modules are worth 30 credits. So it may be that you're going to do 2, 3 or 4 modules each trimester. So like I say, if you start in September, you will do 60 credits in trimester A, and then you will do 60 credits in trimester B, so from the end of January through to May, and then over the summer you would do your dissertation, which is worth 60 credits by itself. So you would complete, if you start in September, you will complete within the year. If it so happens that you're going to start in January, you would do 60 credits in trimester B, and you would have the summer off, and then you would do 60 credits in trimester A, and then you would do your dissertation starting the following January, trimester A of the following academic year from when you started. So that's only if you are full-time. If you are part-time, we do recommend that you do no more than 30 credits per trimester, and that's really in recognition that you're probably working a job at the same time. So it may take you longer. You do have 4 years to complete the programme as a part-time student, so that's plenty of time to get those module credits in. This is a list of the modules from a theoretical and flexible point of view that hold on, just can't see it. there we go, that you can choose from as part of the theoretical pathway, the flexible pathway. So you can very much, hopefully you can see there that there is quite a choice of different types of modules that you can very much tailor towards your professional goals, your career goals, and helping you on that pathway. So it's not a one-size-fits-all programme, and we do pull from some of the public health modules that are part of the public health. There's a lot of overlap, but there is some modules within that that are only available to the NAP students. I've included a link in that presentation as well, just that you can, if you go into Google and just Google GCU module descriptors, you can very much have a look at the different modules, their learning outcomes and their assessment criteria, and you can see how that is could be directed towards what you want to get out of this programme once you would start. We very much try to align the modules with the 4 pillars of advanced practice within NHS Scotland. So you can see that there is some ones that are geared towards kind of clinical practice there. There is ones leadership, research and education, and hopefully to make you a well-rounded professional. The 2 modules that I would just like to bring your attention to, there is the lower limb and foot and diabetes and the diabetes care, a multi-professional approach. These are open to all students within the programme. However, the module team would like you to be able to demonstrate some background in diabetes care, and there is a practical assessment associated with that. So there is an OSCE associated with one of these modules. I think it's the diabetes care, a multi-professional approach. It's not specifically run within the nursing department. It's run within the biomedical sciences department. So you can see there again where we're pulling in from other programmes to widen your scope as well. And we're always open to feedback for looking at what you would like, what type of modules you think would be beneficial within the programme. What I haven't included within the module choices there is, I should probably put in like the credits just to give you a bit of an idea, but you can get the module credits and can see and what trimesters they run in, so you could maybe have a think about what you would like to start with. And we always advise that we do send out module selection forms during the summer to try and get you organised and make sure that you are attached to the modules in time for you starting. Just as an example though, these first 2, advanced leadership and advanced research methods, those are both worth 30 credits. Advanced research methods does run in both trimesters. However, as part of our programme, we state that you have to do this module in your first trimester. So regardless, if you start in September, you'll start that in September. If you start it in January, you'll do it in Tri B in January. Advanced leadership only runs in trimester B. Applied pathophysiology runs over both, so that's worth 15 credits. You could take that in both. You could take that in either A or B, so that's open to everybody. Becoming a health and social care educator currently only runs in trimester B, but I'm the module lead for that one, so I'm looking to run that in both A and B. And I think diabetes runs in A and the lower limb and foot runs in B, so you could potentially do both of those as well. But that link, and like I say, if you Google it, you'll be able to look at the module descriptors and have a look to see which modules you think you would like to take. The teaching and learning across the programme, there's lots of different teaching methods that we use depending on the type of module and what it's geared towards. But we do large lectures and then seminars and tutorial groups as well that can be based on that. Some practical classes, obviously looking at some of the modules. I've put in placements here. I want to be very clear though that there is no actual placements associated for the full-time flexible programme. The only module that, and it's not a placement, but the diabetes modules, I think it's the lower limb and foot and diabetes modules, does give students an opportunity to go out and observe practice in one of the main teaching hospitals in Glasgow. But it's not a placement as such, and it's only a small component, okay? So there is no placements associated with this programme. We do simulation experiences, and that kind of feeds into some of our assessments. So we're looking at OSCEs, objective structured clinical exams, and I'll talk about that in the next slide. And we also do group work and flipped classroom approaches. But the flipped classroom is there is a certain expectation at master's level that you will do. There is some nominal learning associated with that, so you are expected to be learning in your own time. So as much as your class for a certain module might be on once a week, there is an expectation that you are going to be working out with that and dedicating time out with that. There is some modules that are online. Again, if you're an international student, part of the visa requirements is that 80% of your teaching must be in person. And as the programme lead, I keep a close eye on how much online learning is associated with the modules. Some modules opt to do 20% of their teaching online, just as a different mode of delivery, and depending on what it is, especially maybe a lot of the modules have external speakers, so clinical experts, and sometimes it's easier to facilitate that, but there won't be the ability to have complete online learning, so we do keep quite a close eye on that. And just quickly on the last side, like I say, you can get this information off the module descriptors, but we have lots of different modes of assessment as well. So it could either be written coursework, so we're looking at essays, case studies. Certainly your dissertation is a large piece of written work, but we are also now bringing in a lot of oral coursework where we're looking at presentations, potentially structured conversations, so vivas, and that. So advanced research methods has recently brought in a presentation as well, so, and that is part of your grade, part it's a presentation and part of it is a written assignment. And really there's a few reasons for that, and one is to try and give you skills that you can use out in clinical practice, and also to assess people differently as well, because not everybody will like writing essays, not everybody likes doing exams, so it's very much dependent on the module and how we can meet the learning outcomes of the module. Like I say, there's practical assessments, and that would be in the form of OSCEs, but we can also do group work, blogs, portfolio presentations as well, and like I had said, just formal examinations and class tests as well do form part of the assessment procedures in some of the modules as well. Okay, that was just a quick introduction to the programme. And like I said, I'm quite happy to take any questions, because I know that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, so if there's anything specific, you can type it into the message box.
Thank you so much for that, Louise. That was really insightful. So yeah, really thorough presentation, so I hope you all got a lot from it. This is a really good opportunity for you to ask Louise any questions that you might have about the programme. So please do just type your questions in the chat box, and Louise will be able to pick them up for you. We'll give it a couple of minutes, because I know what it's like when you're trying to type in these boxes. So we'll give it a couple of minutes to see if people can get their questions in, and we'll take it from there, Louise.
No problem. go back to that one.
Looks like there's a question from Barry there, Louise.
Sorry, I muted my mic. Sorry about that. Yeah, so advanced clinical assessment is still available. I'm also the module lead for that one as well. There is some additional requirements for the advanced clinical assessment. So for the most part, students that are undertaking that are in trainee advanced practice posts. So however, we do have people that are not yet in advanced trainee advanced posts. What we do need you to do is be able to guarantee that you have a supervisor for that, because there is a clinical component. Your line manager would have to support you being on the module, or at least be able to say that you will have access to a supervisor, and you will be able to practice the skills and get enough opportunities to practice the advanced assessment skills within the module. But Barry, I'm happy to, sometimes it's easier to explain that if we I do meet up with students one-to-one to go through that. But what I would suggest today is, if you want, you can send me an email and I can send you some of the stipulations that we have for it, and I can send you the dates for it as well, because one of the other things about the advanced clinical assessment module is it starts earlier than the rest of the trimester, and we have a whole teaching week block at the beginning where we front load all the information so you can go out and practice the clinical assessment skills. So you need to be available for that whole week. So if you want that information, just drop me an email and I'll send it to you. Oh, that's great. That's fabulous, Barry. If you're in a trainee post and your manager's supporting it, that's half the battle. So that's fine. Just send me an email and I'll send you all the dates and things for next year. Like I say, if nobody's got any questions today, and you want to email me, anybody at all, I'm very happy if you email me, and I can hopefully answer any questions that you might have.
That's great. Thank you so much, Louise. Have you Are you happy for me to share your email address? Have you got your email address on a slide there? Or do you want me to
It's on the first slide, I think, but I'm happy for you to share it.
Great.
I can type it in here if you want, and then people can copy it.
Perfect.
There you go. That's smart.
That's ideal. Thank you so much.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. Why did that?
It does that whenever you go to type in at GCU. I think it automatically assumes you're doing all. So
right.
just for the avoidance of doubt, it's louise.preston@gcu.ac.uk for anyone who needs it.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was me. I thought that was a me. I should have.
Not at all. So I think that's us just coming to the end of time now anyway. So I've just posted a message in the chat box about the rest of our postgraduate online information event, which is running all week. Should there be any other sessions of interest for any of the guests here today. So I just want to say a huge thank you once again to Louise for her time and expertise. And also extend a big thank you to all of you for attending and for your questions. Just a reminder that the recording will be on the GCU YouTube page in the coming weeks if you want to revisit any of the content. We hope you found today's session useful, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming many of you back for your postgraduate studies in September. So thank you so much to all of you for attending, and thanks again to Louise.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.